Good morning, everyone. Yesterday was a purely technical day, or perhaps I should say a purely behavioral finance day, but it may well have been the good news itself that pushed the dollar down. The stock market's been up 10 days in a row, Eurozone bond yields were rising, and U.S. jobless claims were down, with the closely watched 4-week moving average making a new post-recession low. All good news for the dollar, and yet the U.S. currency lost ground against almost all of its major counterparts as the market hit trailing stop losses. Investors may be wondering just how long this string of good news can last and be looking for some mean reversion. Or they may be starting to position for some disappointment at next week's FOMC meeting. The pound gained after outgoing Bank of England Governor King said that policymakers aren't trying to talk down the currency and said that the recovery in the UK economy was in sight. Sterling was also boosted by a story in the FT saying that the Treasury had ruled out radical changes in the Bank of England's remit, and another story saying that Qatar has begun talks with the UK government to invest up to £10 billion into key infrastructure projects in Britain. Well, the first FT story will be clarified when the budget's presented next Wednesday, and as for the second, the £10 billion inflow hasn't even been decided on yet, much less funded. As for Governor King, I'll be honest, I'm not sure I believe him on either point. So, from my point of view, I think cable's likely to remain volatile up until the budget next week. But given that the government's already decided to stick to its tight fiscal policy, really they have no alternative but to go for a loose monetary policy. I'd remain short cable from a fundamental point of view. Technically, too, it looks like cable's gains are likely to be short-lived. There's strong resistance coming in at 152 the figure, and weaker resistance around 151.30, which is the 20-day moving average that has acted as resistance in the past 1.5 months. We see a retracement to 150 the figure for today, with trailing targets of 149.20 and 148.60. This is Marshall Gittler, head of Global FX Strategy at IronFX, wishing you solid trading.